early to Vici Gaming. So with that, gods, we get underway officially. Our first Vici Gaming appearance here on the second stream, and looking forward to what should be an excellent series. Vici Gaming moving as a pack of 3 up towards the top side of the map. We'll go ahead and introduce the players real quickly. It's going to be FY on the Winter Wyvern. Ice playing your Bloodseeker super with the beautiful Zeus Immortal. He will be heading towards the mid lane, of course rushing the bottle, and just going to spam Chain Lightning until he farms it. How? Taking the Gyrocopter bottom, known in some circles as the Havost of the East. He loves to play aggressive, and much like Aggressive that we saw earlier, you can expect him to be always fighting Fenrir. Last but not least, on your Dazzle. And over on the opposing side, you've got MVP Hot6 looking for at least their first game win, if not series win, of the tournament. Jurex will be on the Tusk. Sunby playing the Undying, starts with the early Orb of Venom. It's Heen on the Bane, MP the Storm, and Forev the Lina. So they move as a squad of 5 in, and they look to drop some wards, or at least find a potential kill. Sunby will plant the ward to the south of the camp. Nobody on the Radiant saw this one. And actually, gods, they don't have any sentries. Are they thinking of just leaving someone solo here, or did somebody save gold?
It's like no one's actually really saving gold. I mean, I think they just realized it's not like a Tusk Undying lane is not something you necessarily want to really pull against. So
maybe you just sit back.
Hot6 want both runes. No Nightmare coming out onto Super. Almost contest the top rune as well.
And meanwhile, FY just, courier sniping already. Here we go.
It's often an unconventional place though.
Boots and level 1 Arctic Burn. We've seen this a lot from the CIS teams, as they just love to go for it.
I don't think he's going to stay around. He'll see MP started with Tengos. Normally you have just the 2 pulled Tengos and you buy a Sal, but when you've already got a set of Tengos, you don't really need more regen on top of that.
I'm loving what Heen's doing here, by the way. Just running around harassing. He's already forced out 1 Zeus Tango and tries to at least get something going early. He's looking for his own courier snipe, but he has been scouted.
Yeah.
Zephy just sits back. The bottle for MP won't come soon because he started Magic Wand.
Yeah, he can see the starting item. I think he's probably just waiting around for a gank opportunity now at this point, because he knows, he should know the courier's not coming for some time, and he's going to go in and harass.
Yeah, maybe a little harass. Yeah. Probably not going to get the kill here. Yeah, just a little chip at MP, and FY will back off. So tries to secure the early bottle and slow the lane down a little bit, but not going to see too much more after that. So talk to me about Tusk Undying. This is a scary looking lane on paper.
Not going to be a kill, but a lot of harass. Nightmare, LSA, body blocking. I mean, this lane's just, you lose your HP from decay, and then once they feel you've lost enough HP, they snowball in. If you get like 2 decay stacks even onto a Gyrocopter, you can snowball him, drop a tomb next to him, and with the zombie slow, he's just done for.
They can go for ice. He's got to be careful, and FY went for Arctic Burn, so he's no defensive capabilities. There's the snowball forward. How trying to engage. Oh, now he initiates after the ice shards, but they don't really have much creeps to tank this one. They still die. Fenrir and Hal might both go down. It's MVP Hot6, first and second blood, both to them. They may have started off in an 0-2 performance, but they come out hot here versus Vici.
This is, I think, currently the strongest dual lane in the game. As far as the dual offlane goes, Tusk Undying is as powerful as it gets. When this combo hits level 2, you're powerless. Even a Gyrocopter, Rocket Barrage against melee heroes. It should be fantastic, but not when
you can
die.
Snowball, you dodge the damage, you've got decay, so you're tankier, and
you split it between 2 heroes as well, so it kind of accounts for it, and it's still like a level 1 Rocket Barrage this early on.
And they're 2 strength heroes as well. That's worth mentioning too.
Oh, Wyvern wants the courier, but it's headed east. Really nice micro coming out from MP. He knows what's going on.
They've seen this before. I mean, at this point, it's a pretty common tactic, I would say, is for a lot of Wyvern players. So FY thwarted, known for his playmaking abilities on support, but not off to a hot start here. And also on top of it, gods, they're getting out farmed. You look at the cores of Hot6, MP 17 and 2 mid. Now, generally Zeus not known for his lane control, but considering the pressure on this lane, he's doing just fine. And then you've got the Lina of 4 of top, 19 and 5. Really shutting down iceiceice with the help of the Bane. So all 3 lanes currently being won here by MVP Hot6.
The other kind of cool important thing Sunby did on the Undying was he got the Orb of Venom, like as a starting item as well. This adds additional slow, makes it impossible for the Gyrocopter. Even with boots, you're dealing with zombies slowing you down, ice shards blocking you, snowball stuns, and now arcane boots come up. This lane is lost.
They're going again. Oh, didn't quite catch how where they wanted him. Time to try lane.
You have to, and I think they kind of
even
lose
then,
3v2. The big thing is you have to split up. You can't let him get multiple heroes in a decay. As I say that, 2 heroes get caught by decay, but
it's pretty hard to dodge, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, and the other issue is that you get under-leveled here. Jerax is level 3. He's a bit low, but he's going to snowball with the tombstone drop. They try to focus at everybody at once. Oh, man, they killed that fast. Good focus fire from Vici, and they will kill off Jerax. That was exactly what they needed. And if it was a level 2 tombstone, I think it's a different fight, Gods. But in a 2v2, you generally don't worry about them right-clicking the tombstone down. But went for that second point in decay, and the surprising move of FY into the lane catches them a bit off guard.
Yeah, he was, I guess, just not expecting FY there, because that was a like half HP Tusk running directly into a poor position, and he had to stay in the snowball at the same time. By staying in the snowball, it meant the tombstone immediately got brought down, so just smart laning from Vici Gaming. I think MVP Hot 6 had the advantage even in that 2v3, but Vici Gaming just outplaying them.
Well, what started as, I mean, it was a 1,500 gold lead, remains there despite the kill. Sure, they end up getting the kill bottom, but that was a 3-hero rotation, and all the while, top lane was completely abandoned. iceiceice has just gone to the jungle. Something you generally don't see outside of pubs from the Bloodseeker. And, well, not getting a whole lot of farm here. As MP gets harassed, they're looking for the Splinter Blast. They almost had to follow a bolt to come through, but Super a bit low on the mana.
Yeah, and they basically tell iceiceice, you go to the jungle, we're going to pressure your tower. They get a lot of damage on there, and iceiceice is forced to rotate back up here, so just to kind of keep this tower alive and draw aggro off the tower when possible. He doesn't want to give up a tier 1 this early on, and Borev with Soul Ring will just keep spamming out nukes and applying pressure here.
Hot 6. They had a nice start. Let's see if they can keep it up. Decay comes out. Jarek's really hurting from this flak harassment. Just completed his face boots. May even want to consider, I guess he goes for the tranquil boots here, but it almost feels like he could use a stout shield as well. As top lane, iceiceice gets heavy dose of harassment from Forev. He's almost got Laguna, and with that early Laguna, they will certainly be looking for some quick kills. MP, he's seen an opening, he makes it go on Super here. He does have a point and pull, a ball forward. He keeps on dodging away from potential nukes, and he gets the solo kill. Well played by MP. No Bloodseeker rotation. He's sitting back mid on low HP. That was a great play, and now Hal may be punished bottom. He will. MVP Hot 6. Gods, you wanted aggression, and you're getting it everywhere you turn. Tower diving and just endless pressure.
Such a good answer too. They see the TP mid, they have that ward on the high ground at mid lane, and a kind of funky place. There's no sentries yet to deal with any wards, but you see the rotation, you know Jara's alone, then you go on him, and at that point, once he's alone, if you get him with the snowball, you've got more than enough damage to bring him down.
And Forev has, in fact, hit level 6, as mentioned. He was very close. The ward mid is good, and also the ward bottom. Vici, they didn't start with any sentries. That's pretty unusual nowadays. So it's seen the supports moving around here in the jungle, and it notices when they're missing. Allows them to just play the other lanes a bit more accurately. Now they get the tranquil boots on Jerax. That'll be a nice pickup versus the phase boots flat cannon. For the jump here, Hal's got to be careful. Decay comes out. Tombstone's almost ready again, and every time this puppy is up, you better believe Hot 6 are looking for the dive.
Oh yeah, Fenrir's back bottom. Hot 6 spotted him, but as the ward expired, and Fenrir actually pinged it out a bunch, saying, oh, there was a ward here. As you see the little ward explode, so both teams kind of know that the Dazzle's at bottom lane, and
they are definitely baiting this. They want the jump on Hal to come, but I mean, they're going to need a really good combo here from Super to prevent the decay stacks, the heal from coming out and turning this fight.
They haven't seen the Zeus at bottom lane yet. They kind of know who's rotating now.
But the Sigil scouting. Oh, they might just lose Jerax. That wouldn't be too bad if he's the only one who drops here. He snowballs in. Sunby wants to go. He's going to deploy the Tombstone in a pretty good position way back, and they're engaging past Fenrir onto Hal. They're going to lose one for this. And that's it. I thought maybe he would try to go, but he's just a bit too low on HP.
I think Undying should have just bailed. He's going to give them a bit of tomb money here as well, which is not the end of the world, but still like a good 100 or so, 125 gold.
I mean, that's definitely the play. You got to send a ridiculous number of heroes and just burst somebody down and then never get Super.
Nope, that was a good move. Undying gonna just need to regroup and...
Oh, they got iceiceice. This should be an easy Laguna takedown. There's your brain set. Follow-up auto attacks, and down he goes. Hot 6 still finding the kills, and they're doing it with 2 or 3, not 4 or 5, which seems to be what Vici Gaming have to resort to now. So as a result, the graph continues to climb. A 4K gold lead, a 2K experience lead, and an immediate smoke gang coming out, not scouted by a Radiant Ward, and they wrap around towards bottom, looking for Fenrir. This will be a 3-hero fight potentially, but the zombie a bit far away to follow this one up. May want to wait until he pushes this lane out.
Unless they can find a quick pick off, maybe they'll feel like they can kill Fenrir quickly before he pops.
It's only a level 1 pull, but with the stun up, I think they got a Fenrir pulled in, can't grave. Down he goes, MVP. Just dive after dive after dive.
I was just about to say, how is trapped here? They can just go in for him.
And they were scouting with the sigil. They were ready to roll on him. So he just backs off as Heen moves in. He, I believe, has been scouted. The ping comes out from Super, but we are not seeing a Bloodseeker Zeus offensive duo right now. They are running tail tucked between their respective legs for their dear lives and not farming much either. When you look at the CS here, it's only the gyrocopter who's getting a whole lot done.
At some point, Zeus does just need to farm, but he actually kind of struggles to move around the map and gank because of his lack of mobility, but he needs to just keep things stable for his team. He can't afford to be like not getting farm and also not getting kills in this bottom lane.
There is a Radiant lane war, but they didn't see MP walk up from the river, and he's going to engage on the Fenrir. No, he decides to go on How instead. No Winter's Curse just yet, so they can't really punish him, but they drop the Tombstone to forward position. Fortunately, that's a very highly level Tombstone as they engage on the Super. The Bloodseeker Zealot's coming out. It will catch Heen. Maybe they've gone in too far. This may end poorly for MVP. They're also fighting away from the Tombstone, and they need the help of the zombies to turn this fight. They don't have the Lina either, who's only now moving in. Not the best execution, and Vici Gaming clean up 3 kills, and that will be a very large chunk of the lead that Hot6 had worked so hard to grab, going right back the other way.
They just couldn't play with their boot for too long. It was the Storm who was like, okay, we're gonna he made it very clear they were gonna commit. He had the haste rune, he was bowling, using his mana, I mean, in pretty effective ways to do damage, but it was slow damage over time while he was waiting for his team to catch up, and Vici just say, all right, they're committing to this, but they're not going to kill us that quickly, so let's just make sure we bring everyone kite away from the Tombstone. And very straightforward fight for them with the Bloodseeker TP in, because they were so far away from the tower, Lina couldn't get there in timely fashion whatsoever.
And the lane ward did help. It didn't actually see the Storm, but it saw the other heroes moving in, so they all began to rotate. They get there in time. They actually tried to D-ward. They figured there was some vision in the area, but just a bit off the mark for Hot6. This could be trouble for FY though, guys. No TP. Sigil doing its work. This is not good.
Once you're scouted, you're like, there's no point hiding there. You just run and hope there's not someone flanking you.
They may lose another tower. Hot6. Their towers haven't been scratched in comparison. Mid, almost full HP. Top, not even touched. And the same for bottom. They are going to have that gold advantage, and they are looking for kills here. There's the sleep to start. Avoid trying to get later, but not going anywhere. Laguna even committed. Don't think they needed that one. And again, the Tombstone in a very forward position as Sunbeam takes the lion's share of the rocket barrage. Will end up falling. That was, again, a bit of a sloppy dive from Hot6, and trading 1-for-1 when you're this far ahead doesn't quite feel worth it.
Yeah, they need to position the Tombstone just by their heroes, because once they put the tomb there, if they want to continue to fight, they have to kind of move forward and be right next to the tomb. But their heroes are so far away from the tomb, it's very easy for Vici Gaming to commit, get a counter kill, and kind of happily go on their way. It's still counter kills not on key heroes. Both Lina and Storm are topping the net worth charts, both going for Bloodstones and very close to these items. And considering the lack of control on Vici's side, this is... I feel like these two heroes can just really take control of this game, and it's going to be very hard for Vici to find kills.
Do you like the, so you like the double Bloodstone? You don't think it's too greedy to go for 2 of these? No Yules, no Orchid, no control really?
I think it's okay. You've got plenty of control coming out from the Bane and the Tusk, and it just kind of, it allows them to exploit, especially if they want to snowball. So if they get to a point where they keep finding a few kills, Lina and Storm aren't likely to die. I mean, they may lose the Tusk, the Undying, and trade 2 for 2, 3 for 3, whatever, but once they get to a point where there's a lot of Bloodstone charges, you then can abuse the short respawn on these two heroes, so it can theoretically give them 2 lives around like the 25 to 30 minute mark of the game, where they can use that to their advantage.
All right, well, they're certainly ahead and trying to get even further ahead as the game progresses, but Vici Gaming, again, the 5-hero train down the bottom lane. They just look to do with numbers what they can't with 1v1 punching power, bringing in the whole squad. And they use the Zeus ult to get some vision here. Immediately, Jerax gets ruptured. He can snowball this, and he will. Great snowball, I believe, hitting on the Super here. Turned up by that, actually on the iceiceice. And that's going to hurt us. The Gyrocopter ultimate is combined with the Bloodseeker zones for 2 instant and easy kills. They're just getting picked off. They are not prepared for these constant 5-man goes from Vici, and they are paying the price, gods.
Yeah.
That's like the 3rd or 4th time they've pulled that trick on MVP.
Vici Gaming just with a very good understanding of the nature of this game. They're behind, they have to 5-man, they can't just keep sending one to 2 to 3 heroes, whatever it may be, towards the bottom lane, otherwise they're just getting picked apart by the Undying, the Tusk. And as much as Undying is a great early game hero for like big kind of 3v3, 4v4 fights at level 1 fights for runes, once you get to this point, if you can burst him down, you burst the Tusk down, you can take the 5 heroes, you'll bring down that tomb in no time at all if they're not being dealt with.
And on top of that, he's getting silenced or zoned out, so he's not able to really level up stack up the decay. He still doesn't have any points in Soul Rip. It's just a tomb, and when they're all full HP, it's not really that scary.
And Avicii Gaming doesn't know it's not fighting.
And again, Storm is not here. They're fighting it up the full squad once more. Heen getting ruptured. He could not be Winner's Curse. That's not available anymore, but Ice. A lot of move speed, thinking about moving towards bottom. They are farming MP. If they can do that and not die, that is good for MVP, but it just feels like if they keep on doing that, you know, they're walking next to the lava, it's a very narrow walkway. At some point, somebody's going to fall in and they're going to get burnt.
Yeah, it still feels like Hot Six are in a decent position. It's very much just momentum is in VG's favor. They've figured out the answer to what Hot Six are doing right now in the short term. Whether that's going to stay the case once Hot Six get their Bloodstones online, once they decide to maybe fight more as 5, we'll have to wait and see. It's still Hot Six who have the advantage overall as far as farm goes. Their 2 big cores are doing really well. But they're also not 2 big cores who scale well into the late game. They haven't got physical damage. I mean, Lina can kind of build physical damage. Both heroes are great late game heroes in their own merits because of the way they
why, but they couldn't get vision on him, and now the cooldown's going to come through. Sunbeam held in position by the curse, easily brought low, but not finished off. He's able to back off, gets out the tombstone. Now Halgrave tried to retreat his way out of here. He has no CP mana, but he has the stick charges. They continue to keep him alive, and finally he falls. Sunbeam surviving a 1 auto attack as iceiceice sprints away. He's going to make his way out of this one. Can't believe it, but somehow he did. In the meantime, MP finds a solo kill in the top side of the map, and they're still diving bottom. The snowball in. They bring down 3. That's what I'm talking about, MVP Hot Six. They get some much-needed kills, the momentum back their way, and they may get 2 towers out of this. Top tower in deny range now.
Chaos. I don't know how to describe what just happened. That was just absolute mayhem in different places of the map. You have like the Storm solo killing Azusa top. You have a completely
not done yet. Crazy ice. There's a tier 1 up here. No Fiend script though. He slept, but that's gonna be it.
TP. Okay, no TP is coming to back him up. So.
Yeah, it was just MP getting back towards the well. He was pretty low after that dive top.
Forev also had his Bloodstone for that fight, so he's up to 10 charges already. And
oh, that's fast.
I mean, at this stage, it's like an instant respawn when you're level 10. So
not to mention the heal, especially against a Zeus, can be, and a cooldown, potentially can be really big. If you're getting close to dying, you just get off that suicide. It really can make a difference.
Often you see the Shadowblade pick up. Yeah, he's got the amulet. This is kind of the... It's kind of like a pubby build, but it works really well a lot of the time. You can use the Shadowblade as a great initiation.
It's really scary and deals a lot of damage, especially when Fiery Soul is maxed. You cannot underestimate Lina's physical damage output.
It's really good against like heroes who can, like, if you go for the Yules, you can get countered by BKB, some heroes with escapes. And you know Jarrett will be going for that BKB. With the Shadowblade initiation, it forces out sentries, gems, and already poor supports are going to be forced into spending more money on detection. They probably won't be really interested in.
He tried to split push top. He goes under the Cold Embrace, but they continue to nuke him down, and they will get another kill on MP, whose Bloodstone was under it, so he doesn't actually get it. Meanwhile, Super zapped by Forev. The kills start to pile up again here for Hot Six Gods as they continue to pummel Vici Gaming. Now right back to a almost 5K gold lead experience again going their way, and this time they have the Bloodstone. So now Vici, they just got to stop making these mistakes.
They need to go back to 5-manning a bit more. Maybe not necessarily 5. It was kind of like a group, maybe more like a 4-1 split with iceiceice soloing top and the other 4 fighting and having him TP in if needed. They need to stay grouped up. Otherwise, they're just going to get picked apart by Storm, by Lina, and even Tusk with a lot of pick-off potential if he's paired with someone else on the team. But problem is, Hot Six have kind of figured out that's the general game plan, and they're just playing a bit more cautiously with when they go for pick-off.
And they're also just getting tankier through levels, through additional skill points. Oh, top lane, MP.
This is a deniable tower. I mean, even if it gets
deniable. I don't know if it's worth the risk here. This is a big kill to give up. Oh, MP, he gets curved, put under. Now the silence is going to kick in. He can Bloodstone denied. The potentially, or the sleep deny. They get nothing. He ends up going down. Heat will be next, it seems, with 5 on the hunt.
Big kill.
Oh, and they didn't get the tower either, gods. There's still a glyph. They may not even let this thing drop just yet.
Yeah, because they can kind of use it as bait even in some ways, which it kind of acted as there. Like, you have a tower, it's in deny range, the other team just becomes more inclined to push.
I think Forev was even scouted moving in at Shadowblade, or that Radiant ward off in the jungle. The pings came out, and he is going to back off here.
Bottom tower
back and forth game. Attack. This. I feel like I'm on a yo-yo right now.
Very much the nature of having like a Shadowblade Bloodstone Lina is it can completely snowball out of control, or if Lina ever gets jumped on, it's just going to instantly die.
You can see Vici Gaming understand that they cannot give up this tower mid. They keep 5 heroes nearby. They also understand they can't be off on their own in the jungle, so they're playing this one rather defensively right now.
Yeah, as much as the nature of Lina at this point is you kind of go for solo pickoff, you have to be very careful, and I think even prioritize more defensive play. They're going to go for Roshan. It looks like they've had a medallion picked up already on the Tusk, so something they can do even without crazy physical damage. It's pretty early on in the game, and Lina, you start getting that fire and soul stack, so they'll be able to bring this down. An important item, I think, to probably give to the Storm at this point, just so we can play a bit more aggressive.
Speaking of items, just going to take a quick peek here while the Rosh gets completed. So it looks like Super will go towards a Bloodstone of his own. We saw iceiceice go back for a Midas as the Thunder God's Wrath is deployed to scout the Roshan. Glimmer Cave is picked up by Fenrir, still finding decent farm despite how rough the game began for him. And hell, it's continued to be pretty rough at that. So they are getting their items on Vici. Not quite on the level of what Hot 6 have put together, but decent. Uh-oh, call downs there, and this could be trouble. Oh, the second one, they made up the BKB. If they can just get out, this is a big win. That precious 10-second BKB charge down the drain. It's also on cooldown for about 75 seconds. And with that, this gives Jerax an opportunity to pressure mid, and I don't know that Vici really want to be fighting.
Radiant's middle
the hard thing here for Hot 6 is they have no map vision whatsoever. The de-warding from Vici Gaming, using sentries and even just the lightning bolt has been on point. Jerax.
Uh-oh. Got caught by the rupture, and with that, he'll forfeit his life to iceiceice. Doesn't even bother with the snowball.
It's really hard for them to play, like, so they're playing split up around the map, which I think is fine, because they've got so many heroes with solo kill potential, or just like small groups of heroes who can find kills, but without map vision, it's something that can be very easily punished. We see it mid lane there with kill on Tusk, but even Lina almost getting punished in the bottom lane. So MVP has to be careful they don't throw away this leader.
It basically feels like it's just a test of your prediction skills. Can you anticipate where the enemy will come? Do you have the map sense you need to pull this type of play off? And it's been hit or miss. Sometimes they're on the ball, sometimes they get caught. Vici Gaming still hanging in there.
Radiant's bottom tower
as the lanes get pressured once more. We see Hot 6 group up. They have a mech on Sun B, and they are thinking about the tower.
I think they may be considering just go with this with the agent.
MP's been scouted here. The Bloodseeker's on is coming. He wants to get the hell out of that. They Glimmer Super, allow him to back off, but how's the one who gets caught? Laguna and Bloodseeker, a 9-second BKB, couldn't get it off. Very nice combination play. They keep Super alive. The team continuing right on his point. No cold embrace for himself. He used it on a buddy, and it won't matter. That's 3 drop to the onslaught. MVP. They are finding the openings, gods.
Yeah, they had the draft for it, just to go for these aggressive plays, dominate the early game, and they have done so just perfectly against Vici. From start to finish, haven't given out any room or space to kind of gain any momentum in the safe lane. And the Zeus pick is one of those things I thought they were just going to run like more as a utility offlane Zeus, but putting in the mid lane for the farmer, and that's something that Vici isn't being punished for, not having a kind of a tempo controller mid for Super that can fight early against such
backing out as TP's in. He wanted to make the and then just BKB and start the fight, but MVP are wise to his tricks, and they're just going to back off. Go back to farming, continue their progression, and we have big items on the way. Forev, level 14 almost, and he's building towards the Axis. 2 components. FY, oh, you cannot leave your tier 2 like that, my friend. Down he goes, and next is going to be Fenrir, who gets stunned and zapped. Doesn't even need the actual Laguna. Vici,
these aren't important heroes, but these are Bloodstone charges, most importantly.
It's Super next. He takes the game this time. It really feels like Beach are just not respecting iceiceice whatsoever, and they're paying. But now they do bait them in a bit too deep. Jared's maybe gonna fall. Somebody drops the tombstone. They can't use it yet. He really should be popping it to remove.
He's holding his own.
Oh, he does, but it's too late at the end. They still get 5. It's a triple for 4F.
4F was like 300 HP. Rupchi, he's like, I'll just turn and fight. Get Sora and
He's
heal
got
back
19.
up. And
He's got
Radiant's
19
top
Bloodstone
tower is
charges, and
under
MP
attack.
still sitting on 12. They've got
Radiant's
31
structures
Bloodstone
are
charges
fortified.
between them. And what looks like it might be the
Radiant's
beginning of a
middle
Vici
tower
Gaming
is
comeback
under
is
attack.
very quickly turning into a
Dire's
complete
bottom
rout.
tower is under
As
attack.
Hot 6, they take Vici Gaming to the woodshed here, gods.
This gets so tricky for Vici to play. Like, you can turtle high ground and use and get out fast, and maybe you just get jumped on. An Aegis Storm is something to be feared here. That's why.
That could be a decent Winter's Curse. The Zeus ult, not quite enough. Team survive. Everybody backs off, and yeah, there's your Sora. You will retreat successfully. Still the chase is on. That's a very fast Bloodseeker. 805 move speed. Uh-oh. This is the danger here. 1, 2. Oh, he juiced the stun. That's 2, and he's looking for more. Jumping on the 4 MP, even engaging.
Dire's
Gets the
bottom
Bloodstone
tower is
deny
under
if he wants to try to heal up his friend. He's not doing it just yet. Horrible ball. That's a triple for iceiceice. It might end up being an ultra, although it's going to take a lot of damage to bring MP low. The ice card's coming through. Instead, Jarex will jump into the fray. Is MP going to try to fight this? I really don't think he can. Even with the second life, he's going to be 1v5. Now they're back up. Maybe with the Lina. They jump onto How. He's kept alive by the grave, as well as the embrace. They have so many defensive abilities here, and they may go again. If the silence is not just right, he's in a lot of trouble, and no, he's able to ball out. Close call there for MP. Got a little bit over eager. Wasn't a total disaster. They didn't lose the 2 big cores, but they do lose an Aegis, and they give Vici Gaming a fresh breath of life.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's just what got them so far ahead.
I mean,
making those kind of plays.
I guess it was a total disaster, actually. That sure looks like one.
Yeah.
5k gold, 5k experience, and they actually lost the Lina, which she respawned so quickly I didn't even catch it.
It was the Aegis for MP at least, so one hero who didn't actually die there. The Aegis was about to expire. I was watching the timer like, oh god, is he gonna like die right after losing the Aegis? That would have been a total disaster. But I mean, for MVP, those are the kind of plays and aggression that got them this far ahead, so you can't blame them for continuing it. And it almost still worked out okay for them. A couple missed LSAs onto that Bloodseeker, which, I mean, they're not really missed LSAs when he's got like 700 movement speed, but if one of those lands and you blow him up and he doesn't chase down all your heroes, you actually win that fight and you turn things around. So it almost works out perfectly. They've still got a lot of charges left on Storm as well as Lina's Bloodstones, both sitting on 12, so they're still sitting pretty good here.
And they have a Lina Eggs as well, which means even through the BKBs of Al as well as iceiceice, who got his pretty recently, they're not safe to run in. Most certainly not.
And soon to be level 16 on Lina, so that'll be a big damage. 675 to 950 is a big difference
Radiant's
in the damage
bottom
output.
tower
Bloodseeker
is
has
under
1400 health.
Yeah.
That is, and in fact, it's enough to kill Fenrir from full HP. And he actually just dies instantly
Radiant's
to that Laguna
bottom
once it's level
tower
3.
has fallen.
And there's even a BKB Bloodseeker, you Laguna him, you've got lots of physical damage. Lina can right-click, Tusk can right-click. I mean, not a lot, but you've got enough. With the medallion especially. And this is a lineup which wasn't geared for having late-game right-click damage, but they can make things work.
Well, let's settle down now. Seems the team certainly want to. It's been 36 kills in 27 minutes, and it feels like 56 kills, to be honest.
Probably just thinking about the next Roshan here. They took the last outer tower there. Going to prioritize map control, something they have not really had all game long. Right? At least it's map vision. They've had control in the sense that they've been postured so aggressively on the map, but right now they've got deep wards down in both mid and bottom lane as well as the Radiant jungle. So,
and they're keeping their form up. Every hero on Vici is outfarming their counterpart.
Yeah, Vici are just forced to turtle up now, I think.
Or on MVP rather, is outfarming their counterpart. And they haven't lost any towers. That gives them not only good deep wards for vision of the Radiant side, but they can project force anywhere on the map with ease, really. They can get to places quickly and keep the pressure up. For now, Vici just trying to do a bit of dewarding, and it's one of the nice benefits of Zeus is the free true sight that he gives. Gaming gonna sit back a little bit here and wait.
Hot Six are probably fine, like, yeah, we've got some wards up, and then 2 just disappear instantly.
And there's just there's only so many aggressive wards you can place that aren't just easy D wards anyway. The best ones are all very commonly scouted. So Heen here, he's up on the high ground. Could there be a rupture against him? No, he glimmers instantly and is able to run away. Very nicely played. So they bait out the Zeus on him. With that, no real chance Vici Gaming pushes.
at this point, Vici Gaming's options are very limited. They smoked up, but they're not even going to make a move outwards, I don't think. They just... You see that get the vision from the Thunder God's Wrath, that's where MVP are going to be like, okay, let's group up, let's just make sure they don't find anything off of the vision they just got. And for Hot 6, they're more concerned about this Roshan respawn. They're going to keep tabs on when it happens, and then they're going to look to, once again, try and go for some big plays, go for some aggression. They haven't really got the ability to siege high ground too well with their draft, but very much so they want to just keep on scaling well into the late game by getting big items on Storm and Lina.
Oh, the ping comes out. JRX was thinking about to jump in with his Invis rune, but right as it's about to end, he backs off. And while that was happening, the super just gets destroyed bottom lane. Shadowblade into a Light Strike array, and an easy solo kill for Forev. Keeps on finding him. 15k net worth. He's 8-1-5. Just everywhere this guy goes, destruction lies in his wake.
I mean, it's great to see like this. I mean, talking about like we've seen a lot of gyrocopter, but it's been very much fighting carries. In this case, it's a Lina who you wouldn't even consider a carry, but you've got to have like having a safe lane farmer who can fight, get some kills seems to be a big emphasis for all teams so far throughout TI5. Apart from the couple anti-mage games here or there, and it's something I think we'll continue to see.
Well, so if you're Vici Gaming now, is there a key item here? Is there something you're waiting for, or is it just a Hot 6 mistake? Is that what you're reduced to?
I think you're just looking to turn this game into a stalemate. I mean, it's kind of a Hot 6 mistake, but at some point, if you're Hot 6, it's like, we have map control, we have Roshan, we're going to get more and more farm than them, but how do they actually push high ground? How do they win this game? And it's very difficult for them to do so with their draft. For Vici Gaming, there's no real risk of losing the game anytime soon if they sit on the high ground. At the same time, they can't just 5 men sit on the high ground for 30 minutes getting no farm whatsoever, so they have to be somewhat cautious that Hal maintains his item progression, the Zeus maintains his item progression, but if they can do that, like cautiously take what farm they feel is safe on the map while delaying the game, they're still looking okay. Even if this gold lead is going to probably continue to dip towards MVP Hot 6 because they have just more farm available on the map, but Vici Gaming's team fight is very reliant on Winter's turns.
The clash, they just took Roshan, they smoke. Wow. 2 smokes clashing tonight. Who gets the jump? The Zeus comes out, just pull down the hype, and then Gusto gets the point in the middle of the pit. Now looks to go to work. The Winter's turn was nice, but MD is a little bit better. He does top the edges, almost finishes up super. They have lost 2 already to the curse. Can they get more out of this Aegis? The ball pass super, he doesn't want to actually drop his hero on top of him. He leaves a remnant in his wake, but they just need a hero to die already. Vinci's so durable, so difficult to bring down. iceiceice is retreating on MP on the run. There's a rocket chase him. He's going to have to Bloodstone deny, I think, and he will. Forev, the last man city, another grave, another reveal from the cold embrace of FY. Finally, they managed to find a kill on the gyrocopter. Can the auto attacks get Fenrir? Slave stun? No, it was too late. How does Vici Gaming win that fight? That is a great curse and just so many freaking saves.
Yeah, they just prioritize the right heroes. They kind of accept the fact that Lina, Storm are probably going to kill a hero, maybe hero there.
Forev!
Wow.
Oh, it was so close.
That was...
That's just lucky for iceiceice.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
They Winter's Curse the Undying, he instantly gets blown up, and then they go for the Bane. They say, let's just kill these supports who can't really do much defensively. From there, we have to worry about the Lina, the Storm, and they did pretty well at that point without the utility items like the Glimmer Capes and just having the Soul Rip, the Guardian Greaves heal from the Undying. These heroes get a lot easier to deal with.
Well, tough fight for Hot 6. They get Aegis, they're just brimming with confidence and like, let's just charge down mid, get those 2 kills, and then we high ground to losing the Aegis, losing multiple heroes, losing the fight as well, and
such a positional thing where...
Another smoke. This is the last one for a long time for Vici.
Wow, they're going for it.
They're 11 minutes without a smoke. This one really needs to work. And they're looking for the RP. Zeus again providing the scouting knowledge that they need is Forev. There's the first man coming. Has a BKB though. Quick TP out. There's no more ways to cancel this, but Sunbeast still gets caught. Not too bad for the last smoke for 11 minutes. They only lose the Undying.
Yeah,
I think that's much more acceptable, although the gold swing tells a slightly different tale. Almost 1,200 going for Vici again.
Yeah, that was okay, that one for Hot 6. I mean, not having smokes means it's going to be a lot harder. The Zeus ulti giving vision for the Winter Wyvern just to find the perfect blink Winter's Curse is causing a lot of problems. That fight, it wasn't a perfect one because there was no one grouped up. They only found 2 heroes nearby. They couldn't really kill the Lina during the Winter's Curse, they just didn't have the follow-up, but
Dyer's
it at
bottom
least
tower
forced
is
defensive
under
play
attack.
from Hot 6, so Vici Gaming forced a BKB-TP, they also get the kill on the Undying, but at no point are they going to have a good answer to Storm. Winter's Curse alone is the summation of their lockdown, and Storm's just going to get tinkier and tinkier and scarier and scarier.
How's BKB is... Oh, well, Bane was moving.
Okay.
He went
like,
for the potential sleep, and Hal's just like, I don't want to be here.
Okay. Cautious play. Shiver's Guard coming on MP. I think just recognizing the one problem for him is if he gets Winter's Curse and just brought down by the right-click damage or just damage in general, so he wants a more defensive tanky item rather than offensive X.
It's a pretty nice pickup. I still feel like for Vici, it's mostly the magic damage, though. You're looking at the cooldown, the Zeus ult.
Yeah.
The pipe will be so big if Sunbeam can farm it. Assuming he doesn't... It seems like he is the target for the curse. Every fight, they just try to burst in, prevent the tombstone, at least prevent the Greaves, and if he buys a pipe, it's just Vici has to go for him first, it feels.
And also something it's like one of those things like Weave, which you never really notice in a fight, is the Flesh Golem amplifying all the damage output coming from Hot 6. That
And the
makes a big
slow.
difference.
The slow really adds up as well.
Yeah, having like Laguna Blade just buffed up, doing even more damage than it otherwise would, having all the damage from the Storm getting buffed up. It's something you just don't want to have to deal with in PC gaming, so I think Undying and Bane are the two big targets earlier in the fight, unless they can guaranteed kill off Lina with their initiation, which can only happen if they get off a fantastic Winter's Curse next to, like, at the same time, where's the right-click damage? You Winter's Curse Lina next to, like, 2 or 3 heroes? None of those 2 or 3 heroes really have right-click damage.
Lina's the big right clicker. Storm's is not terrible, but it doesn't exactly blow you away either. It's more about the lockdown. It's really up to the Zeus ultimate and some of the nuke damage from the other heroes to get those kills.
And this is not a farm Zeus. This is a hero I think Vici Gaming would love to get a few more items on, get that like refresher, the Dagon 5 that a lot of players like to go for, and
Dyer's top
look to
tower
just have
is
Zeus
under
able
attack.
to dish out a ton more damage in a short amount of time, but with just Bloodstone and Glimmercape, it's not really that scary or potent at this point.
I do have to say, Hot 6 has done a really good job at keeping the wards up. They continue to have total vision superiority around the map, and they still have their towers up aside from that mid-tier one as well. So maintaining the map control edge. And they are forcing Vici Gaming to 5-man, which means even if they lose team fights, they still at least keep this lead at a solid 10k. So Vici again moving out, but as usual, it's 4 or 5 heroes all together. Trying to D-ward, just little forays here and there. They really are just hoping to catch Hot 6 out, and with no smoke still for 7 minutes, they have to play super safe. It may even mean this Roshan is just free for MVP.
Yeah, I was just looking at this moment. That's something which Vici Gaming have been somewhat reliant on to... everything they've accomplished in the last 10-15 minutes, all the good engagements, good fights seem to have come from their smoke usage, which is something very impressive that they've had such a high success rate on smokes. I mean, it's much higher than you'd normally see come out from a team, and without them, it feels like Hot 6 are just generally coming out a lot better. They've kept being proactive with the vision. They've sentries everywhere. Illusion Rune forces out Winter's Curse, and Vici Gaming gonna fall back, probably rightfully so, with Winter's Curse on cooldown, and Rupture is used.
Oh, wow.
They really went ham on that illusion.
I just saw the ice shards from the trees, and I think the combination of the two is what scared them. Like, uh-oh, they're coming. And they must have known their call top lane. There's the jump in from MP. He looks for the super solo kill with the Glimmer Cape. He's just a bit too tanky. Nice item pickup that helps him to survive against those single target pickoffs. Will allow him to stay alive here. Vici Gaming not giving up any freebies now, but they are being choked into their base, and as far as map control gods goes, to add to it, MP has a gem now, so even more ways to keep Vici Gaming in the dark, which is exactly what we're seeing now.
It's a good pickup. 2 Glimmer Capes on the Radiant side, you need that detection, and if Storm wants to be able to just go for kind of kill solo, or just kind of back up a Lina who's gone off solo and go balling in to provide that detection, it's very
important. Top, it's quite clear that there's more lurking behind him, so MVP retreat.
I feel like someone needs to get some right-click damage out of the Storm or Lina. Storm picked up a Mithril Hammer.
I think it's the BKB though here.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like a Deso would actually not be the worst pick. Like if he goes on the Zeus, having that Deso, because he's getting a decent amount of right clicks off with Trans Orchid. At the same time, it's not like the dream right click damage. I feel like a Daedalus maybe would be a better one if he wants right click. So probably a BKB.
MVP. Oh, they get scouted by the Zeus ult, and if Roche respawns early, they will go right into the pit. They're going to scout
20 seconds. Oh boy, that's short.
But not right away. So it's one of those things where they may not wait. Let's see how patient Heen can be.
I feel like even
pretty
2 to
patient.
3 minutes from now, I don't know how good Vici Gaming are at contesting Roshan.
Well, last time the idea of the contest was not actually going to the pit, just catch them on the high ground and then slaughter them like cattle as they run up the ramp.
Unfortunately, running into Roshan, it's while Hot6 don't have the high ground advantage, they theoretically have the vision advantage where they can ward up, have sentries down, and see you coming while you don't know 100% they're in Roshan. The Roshan pit is a place where I feel Hot6 have the advantage. Going up blind up the high ground, yeah, that's one place where Vici would love to take the fight.
If Vici had vision, I'd maybe even say they have the edge in the pit with the Bloodseeker Sods, the call down, and the Winter's Curse, but with no vision, I totally agree. It's so risky for Vici.
Hot6 aren't even warding. Like I said, they theoretically have the vision advantage, but it's like, I want
Immortality is
It's a pretty sizable lead still for Hot6. Over 10,000 net worth. They've got a Storm as well as Alina, who it still feels there's no answer to. Both sitting on a decent size of Bloodstone charges. Apart from the Storm, who's only on 8, but I mean, it's still healthy enough.
I love these FY rat tactics. The rat wyvern working its magic up top, but he may get caught if he blinks in to try to last at the tower, which it seems like he really wants to. Forem's just on the hunt right now. Oh, he found him. FY. Oh, he gets the stun, just barely.
Got the tower.
Exterminates him, but FY gets the tower, like you said. So not a terrible trade in the end.
Some ball across the map, just trying to get a Bloodstone charge.
That would be so sweet, but it's Lina with the bulk of them. 16 Bloodstone charges up. They've been on the pendulum here, swinging back and forth between gigantic closing on 20 and down to a more manageable 8 to 10 or so.
Still just had that big looming issue. How do we end this game? As much as Vici Gaming are kind of waiting for a Hot6 mistakes, it feels like Hot6 are doing the same thing because they can't just group up as 5 and expect to push high ground against the Winter Wyvern with Curse, the Gyrocopter cooldown flak, all the AoE damage. Vici Gaming, their lineup is just geared for defending, especially against this kind of a draft. So on both sides, they're hoping for a pick-off or a hero to get caught out.
Or maybe they just push in. MVP, just brute forcing it. They even throw the Solar Crest on a creep to tank a couple extra tower shots. It's MP in front. On him just to try to pop this Aegis here. He really doesn't want to give that up too easily. Not fully committing yet. iceiceice looking for the Sansa. They get it with the 2 here with the snowball from crashing through and protects it, keeps alive for him. Who now comes rushing in. This Lina has the cheese. If need be, she can go for more. Fenrir gets silenced. MP brings down for him. It's already and still committing into how they're going to finish on now too. He needs to buy back and he will now, but he's flying back without a spell. And so towards the Wyvern. Another snowball. Jumping in, Jerax is in deep zone. He may end up falling to this. MP engaging, gotta finish these here quick before the endless saves start coming out, and he ends up just falling out, retreating. Is Lina off the cheese? Can he survive this? MP? Oh no, this is bad. Could be another death as FY jumps up on top, but he's on his own. He's gone in a bit too far. He needs iceiceice to help him, and MP runs for the hills, heading to the north. Slowly they look to chase him now, but it's Lina's come back. Forem's ready to re-engage. Can he find the counter kills? Oh, he lets the Storm die first. He didn't have the Laguna, and now they chase on the Forem. More heroes end up dying. The Lina back into the game. Actually, she died as well. That makes it 5, along with an Aegis as well as the cheese. And that is a rather painful fight recap for the Hot6 fans.
It still was a lot of buybacks from the Radiant side. Gyrocopter Wyvern will also buy back.
There was only 2.
Yeah, 2 buybacks.
But they get Aegis cheese, they get 5, and they hold Rex.
Yeah, they kind of lost sight of like their initial vision, which was just chip away at the tower. Storm with the Solar Crest on him. They were getting a lot of damage. They forced out the glyph. Vici Gaming then also felt pressure, like, okay, we got to engage, otherwise we're just going to slowly lose our rack. So they went in with the Blink Winter's Curse. Wyvern died. The snowball saved him, but once they snowballed in, I think they just need to back off and then go back to the initial game plan of chipping away at the tower. then forced Vici Gaming to once again engage. Instead, once they were snowballed in there, they felt like they were committed, but I feel like they were in a position where they could have just backed off a bit more and kind of regrouped and just gone back to sieging. But it's very hard in the moment once you're snowballed in and you're leaning with cheese and you got BKB up, you're like, okay, we can do this. So very hard to kind of make that more defensive call in the moment.
Did she have the MKB during the fight, or did she pick it up? I think she got it
a recent
afterwards.
pickup. Yeah, I think that was a fresh item.
You wanted physical damage. This is a lot of physical damage, and at the same time, Super's gotten a Ghost Scepter. So between the Glimmer Cape and the Ghost Scepter, he's just looking to survive and just hide out as long as humanly possible.
Nice observer ward here in the top lane for Hot 6. Not getting scouted yet by Vici Gaming, so...
That's a clever one. Did they lose their gem? I thought they had one. Ah, Fenrir is actually the one who picked it up, so...
5 dead.
As nice as it is, it's gone. That's the biggest cost, perhaps. That endless chokehold that MVP had Vici under is... It can be whittled away very easily with this gem.
I feel like most games you see maybe like 20% of wards get dewarded. This game it's been like 80 to 90%.
But by both teams, really. I mean, Vici were constantly dewarding. It's just that Hot 6 had the gold to buy more and more observers, more and more sentries, and they had the ward checks, if you will, to keep on fighting that battle.
Going to be pretty fast break at respawn, it looks like, after the time it just popped now. But for Hot 6, they've seen what they can do. Like they probably looked at that initial push like, okay, this is actually working. A Storm has enough right-click damage to force Vici Gaming to engage. They're probably not going to go for another similar play until they've got an Aegis, so until the next Roshan respawns, they're looking to regain map control. Unfortunately, with the gem on the Radiant side, it's difficult. They can look for pickoffs, maybe try to look to use a smoke of their own, which they have got on Tusk. So I think once lanes are pushed out, look towards Hot 6 trying to make a smoke play and find some pickoffs.
And speaking of smoke, let's keep an eye on it here. There's no smokes for 10 minutes for the Radiant. Any on the Courier? There's one. So Vici have one in there at their disposal. They've got 2, 3 for MVP. They definitely have more opportunities here to go for those types of plays, which is a pretty significant advantage at this stage of the game.
Lina at top, kind of being baited in by there's everybody right behind him.
That's pretty obvious bait. There's literally nobody else visible on the map. Yeah, he's not going to.
It's even being pinged by MVP. Like, this is fishy.
Stab them though, gods. Are they going to swing all the... Are they thinking about a full backstab?
I think it was just... Oh, it turned into maybe a smoke looking for a pick-off on someone defending the lane.
You know, they see the sigil. I wonder if Vici are expecting this, and they have a gem, so as good as this ward looks, will they actually get much done with it?
Yeah, I mean, even just that, like, 30 seconds of vision at this point, it's like, well, it gave us a short-lived spur of vision.
It doesn't get them a kill. It doesn't help them push. And dead.
It tells Lina that, okay, top lane's safe to push.
That's about all that works.
So, at this stage, it's very, you can use clips maybe and just unexpected spots to delay the dewarding process. But for now, MVP just gonna they want to just keep lanes pushed out. That's gonna be their way of getting vision. Is just by having creeps push out lanes and force heroes to defend and reveal themselves.
Have you noticed Hao's latest pickup?
Double damage.
Oh, he's going from. This is my favorite jump.
This is the storm counter. He just jumps on you, you just abyssal him, and then blow him up.
It's fantastic damage. It actually gives a lot more right-click damage than people normally kind of expect from the item. It's not just about the bash, and when you get to a point where you've got a lot of attack speed, which Skadi and SMY gives you, you're also getting that bash. It may be 10%, but you'll get those bashes from time to time with Gyro's attack speed, so gives him some good control to deal with the storm. And speaking of control, there was also a Hex pickup from iceiceice.
Yeah, he's had this one for some time. It hasn't really gotten to use it, but it could be a lot of trouble. If either of Hot 6 carries gets Hex, I just think they die. They really need to get those BKBs off quickly. A lot of this game could come down to reactions. They do have the snowball. That's the one defensive play they really have, but you compare it to Vici with the Grave, the Cold Grace, the heals, it's not quite the same.
What do you think FY is getting with the purse? Is it Lincoln's or Refresher? Both are good.
Do you think either? I was thinking maybe a Lotus Orb.
Lotus Orb?
To be honest.
Okay.
Versus the Laguna. The Laguna and the Grip, it feels like it could be really strong. It also seems like an FY item. It's like, I want the item that I can make the flashiest plays with in the world.
I feel like Refresher has a lot of playmaking potential just because...
That's true. It could be a Refresher.
Winter's Curse is one of, at least so far this game, it's been what the most important like lockdown spells them. Now they have Hex as well as, well, no Abyssal Blade yet, but it's coming.
He hasn't spent his gold in a while. I feel like he almost got the gold, so...
Linken's is one of those items, like, you know you're going to get value from a Linken's. It's not like you have to, like, make a play to make the Linken's work. Just spamming Linken's on your Gyrocopter means you're going to maybe block a Laguna Blade, maybe block a Grip. It's always going to be a reliable item. But it's a lot of money to spend on something that gives you, like... It's an item that can be dealt with. To me, Refresher is a big playmaking item. Lotus Orb, like you mentioned.
Oh, Ice. He gets the silence on 3, and he also gets the vision for Vici. They set up a missile on Jerax.
He's going to keep those buffs on teammates as well. How with a Blood Rage flat cannon on a lot of heroes could cause some problems.
And that's the scary thing, is they can throw the Blood Rage on Hal with zero fear that he dies. Because he's either going to get graved or cold embraced unless something goes horribly wrong here. And Vici make the move, but a glimmering beam starts to inch his way forward. They get the high ground tombstone.
They can deal with it with
lightning here. Yeah. It's going to take a little while. How needs to be the one to focus this. And if they lose this tombstone right away, that's not a good start to the fight, but that's a lot of zombies. And that's an opportunity for VP. They start off with the flame, they get the K out. Now, a nice ice shard by Jerax blocking the back. That could be the opening. MC comes in from the side, and FY wasn't ready for that. Hold in quickly, not just as yet, he's brave. He's kept it alive, and they simply can't find the quick, easy kill of the game. Snowball forward by Jerax, and the engagement continued. They bring down the gyro, dead for 100. Wyvern falling as well, and already ice out of the picture. What a great catch there by Jerax. The shards blocking the path of retreat and caging Vici Gaming in. And MVP, they forget about Roche. They're going mid. They want to just force out some buybacks.
For thought back continue. No, he's keeping top. He's also got a moonshot coming on Courier, or he's also at least.
They're going for it now, gods. The buybacks are up on 2 of these heroes. Winter's Curse on cooldown for 50. Call down is about to be up along with the BKB. Still going to be a tough fight because MVP of everything. A fresh tombstone already deployed. And in comes the push. MVP upsets the juggernaut Vici. Or will they be able to battle back? They're already about to be down to later Brax. It falls quickly to Forez and his mighty fists. Now they look for the rig and they'll clean that one up too. A rocket on MP who swings back towards mid. Without the Bloodseeker and without the Wyvern of FY actually committing a buyback, they may even lose 2 lanes of Rex by the time he respawns. This is going to be a very steep hill to climb. MVP, the engagement begins now. The jump on the super, there's the grave. Keeping him alive for now. A call down is thrown out, only barely clipping the NSD. Healthy for now, he balls out easily, and then he gets purged. The Courier with 3,600 net worth. Ends up going in the midst of this, and a great Winter's Curse comes out, but can't quite finish for him. He needs to BKB here. He's so damn important to the fight, but he can't. Hex and dead eventually. The Bane to fall as well. In MVP up the back. This may cost them a Roche, but they got the Rex. MP was ruptured. Let's see. Whose Courier was that?
It was the Giant Courier.
And what did it have? It had a Hex.
The Storm's Hex. Wow. Okay.
That's a big takedown. No Hex for 3 minutes. You just give up this Roche, right?
Lena's respawning very soon.
No bang. No bang.
Yeah, I feel like you're also just not going here in time.
Maybe MP goes for the big steal. That is so risky, though. Red team wants to make the plays. He drops an item. MP's thinking about it. They've got single vision. And then he jumps. He's got anti-agent! MP! New player! Unbelievable! And then they snowball in. And they're looking for more. They've got Vici Gaming where they want him. Fighting in those heads. They've got a second life here as well. They're doing work. Everybody grouped up 4M. Pummeling Vici Gaming. They just won't stop. They bring down Hal. It's 4 dead. That's a dieback on the gyro. It's a team win. And Ultra for 4M. And MVP on 6. Just laid out Vici Gaming. What a fight. That was simply majestic.
Bravo. That is just a team with such little experience making such a clutch, huge play at the most important time against one of the best teams in the world. That is just insane. That was balls of steel coming out from MP. He just went for it. He's like, okay, Lena's rejoining me. If they make the play work, it's game over. Gyro's got no buyback. This is just Bloodseeker and Zeus versus the world, and VG Gaming have just been taken down a notch after a 2-0 stop of Team Empire. It's the Koreans of the Overlord. They're here. They've arrived to Dota 2.
Well, they couldn't deal with CDEP, guys, but they are taking it to Super and VG Gaming now. Not even bothering to get over the Laguna. They'll leave that for MP. He gets the last pick, and Super kept alive as well. Be careful, MVP. You haven't fully watched this yet, but they feel like they have. As Torres celebrates with a takedown to the Laguna Blade. It's that blindness. He takes the battering, and Denrir, surrounded, will be herded back to the well, and he won't make it. It's a triple for MP, and MVP Hot 6 have already taken their first win here at the International 5 with a chance to 2-0 VG Gaming.
Hats off to the young team from South Korea. That was a hell of a showing, a fantastic draft. This is, like, I mean, a lot of it goes back to the draft. This was the dream draft for MVP Hot 6. Talked about what they need to do, all-out aggression, look to dominate the early game. You can't afford to fall behind, and at no point did they fall behind. They found kills. There were a few times here or there where they overextended, but